Hi everyone, welcome to my first YouTube video. Today I'm just going to be doing a quick get ready with me. So first we're going to start with the brows. Here I'm just putting on some brow gel. Excuse if they're a little bit, bushy. I'm trying to grow them out to get like a more fuller brow. I really am into I have always really been into like thick brows. And I feel like over time they have just gotten thinner and thinner. But I mean, I think it's just the over plucking as well. So I'm trying to grow them out at this moment and get a fuller look. Here I'm going in on the other side and doing the same thing. Again, I'm just using some brow gel and just trying to clean them up so I can shape them up a little bit. And then so that way we can apply some concealer. Okay, so here before we go in with concealer, I like to clean off any of the excess gel that might have gotten on my skin just so it won't look just so it won't start peeling after when you apply your concealer and any foundation to your skin. So here I'm going in with the Maybelline Fit Me concealer. This has always been one of my favorites and I like it because it's not so heavy and a little goes a long way. Okay, so here I like to carve out my brows. And I do like to go with the shade that's kind of similar to my skin tone, so it kind of blends in really nicely. So I cover up my brows and then I like to conceal my under eye circles and any redness that I might have, which is literally just on the sides of my nose. Okay, so right here we're just blending out that concealer that we applied. So here I'm just blending with the Beauty Blender, and this is the Real Techniques Beauty Blender that I like to use. Okay, so here I'm gonna go in with the House of Labs foundation. This has been one of my recent favorites, honestly, because it's so dewy and I just like the finish that it leaves. It's not like super how do you say, it's not so full coverage. And if you like a more full coverage look, I'm sure you can build it. But since I go for the more dewy look or like a light finish, this is the one that I've been using and it has been working really well for me. So I go in with a little bit of foundation and I like to carve the top of my brows out a little bit just so when I apply the foundation on my forehead, I can blend it in a little bit and it doesn't look all weird. So here you see me doing that. I just like to grab a little thin concealer brush and then just carve them out like I said, and then blend it out. So you see me here going in with that foundation. I like to go all the way down to my neck just to blend everything, make sure everything looks, blended out and there's no harsh lines or anything like that. Okay, so here for the brows, since I already went in with a little bit of gel, what I like to do is like to fill in any of like the sparse areas that I might have in my brows. I like to go in with the Anastasia, I think it's the Dip Brow Pomade if I'm correct, in the shade dark brown, I believe. And then so I just fill them in pretty lightly, not something so heavy because I'm growing them out like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, and I know if I go overboard, it'll look a little bit too thick. So I just like to go in with a really, really light hand and then brush them out and going ahead and blending out as well. Okay, so here I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. putty, I think it's called the putty brush. And then I'm gonna grab some bronzer contour from Makeup by Mario. And if you guys want the exact colors and everything, go ahead and let me know down in the comments below, and I'll be more than happy to share them with you. I don't have the exact colors and the names at hand, but go ahead and let me know down in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to share those with you. So then I like to go in on my cheekbones and then on the bottom of my jawline, and then I'll go ahead and contour my nose as well, and a little bit of my forehead, not so much. And then with the thinner brush, I like to go ahead and dig in there as well, and then just contour my nose. For my nose, I like to go in really lightly as well. It's just something that I can blend out and it won't look so harsh. I've never really liked that really super harsh look on the nose and stuff. So here you see me just applying a little bit of bronzer to the nose. And then later on, we're going to blend this out. Okay, so here I'm just blending out the bronzer that I had initially put on. I like to let it sit there for a little bit and then go over after and blend everything out a little bit better. Here I'm doing the same thing. I'm blending out the contour that I had on my nose. And right here, I'm going in with that same brush that I was using on my eyebrows that had a little bit of that concealer, and then just applying it in the areas to clean up my contour a little bit more. So right here, going in with the MAC blush. But before I go in with any blush, I like to go in with the House of Labs concealer. Then I apply that and let that sit for a little while, just while I'm applying my blush. So it looks a little bit more brighter on the under eye. I really like the bright under eye, so I let it sit for a little bit. And then after, I'll go in with the blush. And then blend, blend, blend. I just like to go in on my cheekbones, blend that out a little bit more. And then go ahead and blend out the concealer. Here I'm going in with the Patrick Ta Just Enough blush. Just so I can make it more pink. I really like that, you know, bright pink look. Okay, so right here I'm going with that same Real Technique sponge, and I'm using the Laura Mercier brightening powder to set my under eyes and just clean up my face a little bit on any areas where I might get oily. But for the most part, my skin tends to be like more on the combination type. I'm also going to be using the MAC Fix Plus powder and setting it after I used my Laura Mercier powder. This is just for a more brightening effect. Like I mentioned in the video, I like that really bright under eye look, so this is just an extra step that I do so I can get that bright look. So here I'm just dusting off any powder and using that same Real Technique sponge, and then just, you know, blending everything in so there's no harsh lines. After, I'm going to be using my eyelash curler. I have really straight eyelashes. My eyelashes tend to go down, so I like to curl my eyelashes, and then I'll be applying some mascara. Here I'm going to be going in with the House of Labs highlighter, and then just with a little brush and just applying a little bit on the higher points of my cheekbones. A little bit on the bridge of the nose. After we're all set with that, then I just like to go in with a brown lip liner. This one is from One Size, I believe. And just line my lips. Okay, so once we're all set lining the lips, I like to go in with the lip gloss. This is the Too Faced lip gloss. And then this one is a clear gloss from that same brand, from the Too Faced brand. Once we're set with that lip gloss, then I like to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury setting spray and apply all over my face. And I actually really like this setting spray. It works really well. So at the very end, I went in and I used the lash effect, I believe, Falscara. So here I'm just doing my bottom lashes as well as my top lashes. And that was pretty much it for this video. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to answer you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye bye.